YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman Raw. So I thought I'd take you guys through this job here. It's one of my first jobs for the year. The little Mazda 3 here, so we've got a new bumper, new fender, and a blend on the door, and there's a little bit of a spot repair to do there as well. So I just got to hang this guard on. So yeah, today is my third day back at work for the year. So Monday I actually did a buff all over and detail on a E350 Benz, and then yesterday I finished off some finishing touches on that same Benz, just a few touch-ups and cleaned the windows and all that. And then I sprayed 3 bumpers and actually got this one ready. So as we are at the moment, it's actually first thing in the morning on the Wednesday. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good to have the break, you know, as always. Probably not as needed as previous years. Like I remember, like not last year, but the one before, I was so knackered, and I really needed that break because we were just so busy leading up to Christmas. But this year, it wasn't quite as bad. So yeah, either way, it's still great to have a bit of a break. But yeah, I just thought we'd have a bit of a, you know, raw vid, a bit of a chat, shoot the breeze, and talk some shit. So one thing I've been getting into lately is a bit of cleanliness and detailing on my own car on the weekends. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen the videos where I've sprayed the roof black on my own little Corolla. It's looking great, and I've been spending a bit more time waxing and keeping it nice, keeping it looking nice, you know. So I've been having a lot of fun doing that, but in doing that, it's exposed me to the world of detailing. Do I need to say any more? And I don't know, man, just some of the people in the detailing world, they're just off their head, man. Like, it seems to me like everyone thinks they are an expert and they know everything, and anything that you do is wrong, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just like, and some of the stuff they do is just totally stupid. And like, tell me this, right? Would you ever, on any color car, mask halfway through the car and then buff up to it and expect not to have a line there once you're done? Like, you can try back masking it the other way and then buff up. You're always going to have a bit of an imperfection of a line. Yet there's these detailing channels that do that in just about every single video. So I started watching this one guy. I'm not calling out names. I'm not here to name names and, you know, start online feuds and stuff like that. So we'll just keep it general, you know. But yeah, I started watching this one guy, and you know, I sort of dealt with that because I'm like, hey, look, he might have some good tips. To be honest, I thought, yeah, I'll listen to what he has to say, and you know, see if there's anything I can learn. Because you know, I'm always up for learning new techniques, and if I picked something up, I'd use it and I'd start doing it myself. You know, in the polishing, even in the cleaning side of things, there could be something that I could learn about the products or the materials that he uses or something like that. But when he lost all of my respect was when he said that every other compound is garbage. And it's like, man, get over yourself, hey? Like, he did even tell us that, oh, you know, he's invested in that certain compound or whatever. And he's like, oh, this is different than every other compound on the market. You know, this one's like a water-based one, and it's totally different. You can polish in the sun, and he's like, unlike the rest of the garbage, like calling everything else garbage. It's just like, man, you lost it. Like, that's really rude for starters, and it's not even true. Like, we can do some amazing quality work with the compounds that we use. You know, they might be slightly different. They might have, you know, some different chemical properties in there, but it doesn't mean that they're garbage just because you don't like it, or you know, you're not financially invested in it. You know, it's, I don't know, you come across as a bit of a dick when you say stuff like that. That's so absolutist, if you know what I mean. Like, it's either my way or it's garbage, you know. So and that's, as I say, that's why I stopped watching that guy's videos. I'm like, nah, man, you've sort of like lost my respect after saying stuff like that. But as I was saying to some other guys on Instagram and was actually saying it to Alan too. Being a spray painter, you know, and going to watch these detailing channels, it's like graduating university and then going back to learn your ABCs. It is really, really basic stuff, and I barely learnt anything. Yet whenever I do polishing video, anything to do with detailing, I will have these know-it-all details in the comments saying, oh, blah, 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 your technique is so bad. And it's like, teach me something, man. Don't just pick on me. Like, don't just, your words, like, they're not worth anything unless you tell me an alternative, you know, like, tell me what you think I could do better. Okay, some people say prime the pad, right? So you've got your pad like this, and these detailers, they will put the compound just in the middle here. And I tried it, but I'm like, man, I want compound on the whole pad. If I'm buffing here, right, I don't just want that middle piece to have compound on it. I want the whole pad to be working for me, you know? And if that means I'm gonna get a bit of fling, so freaking what, man? Do you give a shit if I have to clean a bit of something off my window? You know, I want that whole pad to be full of compound and working for me. Like, you know, it's not like my techniques are just like, I'm not like some caveman who hasn't thought about it, you know. And the other thing is, I was actually speaking to this guy who does have his, obviously, look, I'll say this, but like, not everyone is like that, obviously. Not all detailers are gonna be like that. But from what maybe it's just like a vocal minority. I really don't know. Like, I don't know that many detailers personally, but yeah, like I spoke to this one guy. He seems like a pretty cool dude. He's from Caloundra Auto Emporium. He's got a cool looking little, you know, shop up there. So shout out to him, Auto Emporium in Caloundra. And you know, if you're in the area, hey, go see what they're all about. See the kind of work they do. And you know, I'm nothing against detailing as a profession or, you know, specific people, but yeah, what was I going to say? I was going to say, yeah, that's one thing that he said to me, is that, like, so because he's got that shop there, he reckons that he's had painters, because he does painting up there too, he said he's had painters and detailers, and he said over the years, I'm yet to see a detailer that can buff as good as a painter. And he said it may happen, but it would be very rare. So, and look, that's not me trying to say, oh, I'm better than you. I really don't care, man. Like, I get my work done to a standard that's good enough for me, and my customers, our customers, you know, and myself. Like, I'm wrapped with the way my car's looking. Like, I did an Instagram post the other day just saying, man, I must be doing something right, because as I was like, you know, jumping in my car every day for a couple of weeks, I'm like, man, I never see cars looking as good as mine. Like, you do, but it's rare to see people that actually take as much pride even in the cleanliness and the polishing and waxing as I do on my car, because I like to keep it, yeah, really nice and waxed up, especially through the hotter summer months. I must admit, through the winter months, it gets a little bit cold. I can't even be bothered getting out there to wash my car, to be totally honest, but you know, the UV index is a bit lower, so it's probably not as important to keep it waxed as regularly in winter anyway. But yeah, I think I covered all about I wanted to cover. Really, I got some things off my chest, you know. Let us know what you think. But yeah, look, as I said, I've been getting right into it. So I actually got myself this awesome buff. So it's like a Flex dual action polisher, but it's battery driven, so it's really convenient. But yeah, like with that new polisher of mine, I was like up and down with it at the start, and then I realized, oh man, I'm polishing scratch resistant clear, because I put a quartz scratch resistant clear on my Corolla, and oh man, I've got to get photos actually. Hold on 1 second, I've got to get before photos. I'm out of my routine, mate. So where are we? Is it here? No, I've got to go into the office and get that camera. Hold that thought. Alright, sorry about that, guys.
yeah, I just had to go get photos for the insurance company just to prove we did what we said we did. And that's a perfect example of why we get photos, because that was actually a SUP, what they call a SUP. So it's damage that wasn't seen until after we took the parts off the car. So yeah, it's all good. I just give this bumper a good dust down. So you saw I used those anti-static wipes. After using those anti-static wipes up down, you're best off not tack ragging it, because the more you tack rag it, the static will sort of come back up. It's more important for brand new bumpers. For whatever reason, when they're bare plastic, the static just jumps right up it with them. But let's get into it. But yeah, what I was saying before is I got this Flex polisher. Yeah, it's a dual action orbital polisher, and it's sick, man. It's really convenient because it's got batteries in it. I'll be doing a review on it soon, but yeah, loving it so far. And I'm actually going down to Tumblr at my lunch break today. I'm going to get myself like a mini bus. It's a Milwaukee one, and it's a 350 Aussie dollars, but again, it looks really good. And again, it's a battery powered one. So I'll probably do a review on that one too. Yeah, look, I'm at the point with tools, man, that I've been burnt a few times recently with cheap tools, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that's why I actually love things like this spray gun. This spray gun here is the ANI F160, and it's like $150 spray gun, Australian dollars, from Spray Gun Direct. As I say, like, you'll probably pay more most other places. That's why I do say that. But yeah, like, it's a cheap gun that does actually spray well, and it's got a reasonable build quality. So I guess that's why people like my channel, because I'm not afraid to show people quality tools that aren't going to break the bank. But what I have found is, like, I guess as much as anything, it's like the electrical tools. The cheaper ones, just really, the quality isn't there, man. Like, I don't know, it's one of those things that certain things you can try and save $1 here and there, but I just think that with power tools, just go for the quality ones, go for the higher price ones, because they are much better. Like, they are much better. But yeah, whatever, man. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right. Even the buff that I've got, like, next year, I'm thinking I might even replace it, like, mainly just because it's loud. Like, it does the job. It's just a cheap one, but it's really, really loud in my garage, you know. So yeah, little things like that. So this gun here is the ANI F160 1.3mm. Is the size of the fluid chip on it. I found that, like, in the winter, like in the colder months, the 1.2 is ideal because it gets less material on. But I find in the warmer months, like at the moment, I'm best off with the 1.3 because it throws it out quicker and it stops it from sort of drying as it's spraying, you know what I mean? So yeah, look, one of those things, the build quality is not quite there with this gun compared to, like, your Sony, your builders and your Iwaters, but they are made in Italy, so they're not total crap. They've still got a reasonable build quality, but I've actually had like 2 or 3 of them go on me. So disclaimer, you know, like, I'm not trying to say that they're the best gun out there, but for the price, man, they're a good option, you know. And I can't see look, as much as I did get that for free for purpose of review, I always put myself in the position as if I had have paid for it, you know. So look, put it this way, if I had have bought 2 of them and a minigun for $450 and one of them ended up dying, I would say, you know what, I'm still winning, because I've got the other 2 that are still working. And as I say, like, most of them just seem to be okay, but occasionally you get that one where a part will fail on it, or it will wear out or whatever. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear from inside this respirator. I'm yelling my lungs out if you didn't notice. But this here is water cleaner. That's a 6800, it's a standoff product. Essentially all it is like some distilled water with some alcohol, just alcohol based cleaner really. And that wet on wet has got plastic additive in it, so it's giving the adhesion straight up to the plastic, and then that's right to spray straight over. Well, 20 minutes, we're meant to give that 20 minutes, so I'm not in any hurry. Once I get a little bit down, because there's a little cut through here, once I get a little bit down over here, I'll go out, I'll clean that gun out, and then I'll get the base coat colour in the gun, and then we'll be back in here within 15-20 minutes, and we'll get that base coat colour down. But yeah, man, it's always good to have like a bit of a break. I didn't get all of the shit that I wanted to get done on my break, you know. I wanted to do a couple of custom projects, but you know what? I see that as a good thing, because all it means is I had a real break, you know. I wasn't working through all my break. Like, I had a few little things that I wanted to spray in my garage, but you know what? I see it as a win that I didn't do them, really, you know. So the other thing that this is doing for me is it's providing me a proper ground coat to match up to that door. So sometimes if you don't get enough of your white down, you can actually see colour difference. So that's the other thing that that's doing. But yeah, the other thing is that there was in fact a little bit of bare metal here. So that's sealing up the bare metal and it's creating the same colour ground. Anyway, I'll see you back here in about 20 minutes and we'll get that base coat colour down. Rightio, so back to it. So I've got the ground coat colour in the gun. As I mentioned at the start, this is a 3-stage pill. So yeah, Gunman Edition Pro Light T21.3. Some people have been mentioning that I don't include spray gun settings as much as I used to, so let's go. It's not even getting up to pressure, that's weird. Ah, I know why. Yeah, we've got an air screw compressor out there, and this morning it was leaking out of the tank, so we turned it off and we got like a backup compressor. Wow, that's the old piston compressor, man. It can't even keep up with the gun. But it won't matter for the ground coat. I could actually turn it up. If I really thought I needed to, I could turn it up outside of the booth. We've got a regulator outside of the booth. What was I going to say before? I can't remember, I got sidetracked. But wow, yeah, like it really goes to show how much of a difference a big, good compressor makes, man. Massive, eh? Geez, that is getting too low. There's probably guys out there standing and using their air and all that. This is actually not even enough for the ground coat, man. I'm gonna have to crank that pressure up. I'll just keep going with what I got for now, but I'm gonna have to turn it up, eh? So
try this for a second. So I usually set it to 60 psi. If it's any lower than 60, well then that's the compressor's fault. Yeah, it is a bit lower. So this is wow, man, it's not even going up, eh? Wow. That should be down. That should be going, yeah, so it is going down. But that's all I can get out of that compressor. I know we are going up now, but not much. That's all I can get, I reckon. It's going to have to go flat out, take all the air I can, but because the compressor is down the other end of the workshop, I reckon I'm probably one of the last in line. The compressor is down there. I reckon these panel beaters, and I can see a guy out there sanding with his air-powered sander. Oh well, it is what it is, man. You just got to make do with what you got. So I've got this air fed down as low as it goes, and we'll see if we got enough now. Oh yeah, we got our 2 bar, but I got a feeling that'll drop, man. It already is dropping, see that? So yeah, man, it is what it is. What do you do? Yeah, I forgot how difficult life was without one of those air screw compressors, man. It really is a massive upgrade, the air screws. It makes me remember that last shop that I was in. We really struggled with air there, man. And that was actually a big part of the reason I disliked this paint system. So where I'm working here now, we've got that air screw compressor, and we will get it. We'll get it going again soon. It's just, as I said, a leak in the tank, so we've got to wait for the compressor company to come out and fix it. But yeah, where I used to work, man, I didn't like this paint system because you need the high volume of air to dry it. Once you get it down, you yeah, so like the next step you do now is you get your air blower and you blow on it, but when you don't have the volume of air that you need from the compressor, it just takes forever to dry. But yeah, being at this shop, man, like all last year, man, it was a total breeze, and it was really fast because we've got the good compressor. So it really is a must, I say. When you're spraying water, man, you need a good high-powered compressor. No questions about it, eh? Like if you don't have a good compressor with water, mate, don't get water. That's what I would say. Even this, I can feel, man, the pressure in that is really, really low. And the volume that is blowing out is nothing compared to usual, man. So this is going to take a lot longer to dry. That's just piss weak compared to usual, man. I can just... you can even see on the masking paper, like, usually, man, that's flapping around in the wind like big time, you know? Oh well, I guess it makes me appreciate what I've got a bit more when you don't have it, you know? Like usually that would be dry by now and I'll be on to the next panel. That's really how quick it is when you've got enough air. But what I will do, because I put hardener in the base coat, in this ground coat, and once I get the last coat, the second coat, which is all you usually need, make sure you get 2 nice wet ones on it, you should usually be covered. But once I get that down, I'll be giving it a bake. Probably even give it a half-hour bake because I really don't have any air pressure here.
So the way that, like, they actually taught me to spray these 3 layers back in the day, man, that was one hell of a drawn out, prolonged procedure, man. It was just a nightmare, eh? It used to take forever. So with low pressure and doing it the way they told me, man, that was just a nightmare. Oh man, I can't even breathe. I haven't even got enough, barely even got enough pressure in this air bed anymore after running this. That's bad, man. Wow. Yeah, probably one of those things I like. If it was just like one panel beater and one spray painter, you'd probably be okay with that other compressor. But to be fair, man, that compressor that we've got out there, like the backup one, it's actually a decent sized compressor, you know, like it's really not a small one. I don't know all the specs, man. I don't usually have to know. I never really have to know. Like even when something goes wrong with it, it's like call up the compressor guy. Like, you know, I'm the spray painter. I'm not the compressor technician. But yeah, man, I've had to take that respirator off because I couldn't even breathe. Like there's not even enough pressure in there for me to breathe. See that? That's like not even 20 psi, man. That's bad, eh? That's bad. Well, I'm just gonna have to keep going and do what I can, mate. The show must go on. Just doing that blend. I thought that you probably noticed I like to do like a bit of a stagger of the blend. Sort of throws the eye off as much as anything, you know. And we'll do the fender here. Move that out and give me a bit more room behind it. Make sure I get all the edges properly. Oh man, it's barely, I can't even breathe, man. I'm gonna have to go tell them to stop using the air, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop for a minute, eh? That's nothing, mate. That's fucking, I don't like swearing on this channel, but sorry. Back in a sec. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay, so that feels better already. Just in the yeah, well, woohoo! There we go, baby. Now you're talking. Yeah, wow, man. Don't I appreciate that air now? Get all these edges first. They can be a bit of a trick to get sometimes. All inside here. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it would be good. I can't do left hand, man. I've tried and I just can't do it, eh? I've got no coordination with my left hand, man. If you can, hats off to you, mate, but I just can't do it, eh? So I really want to make sure I get a nice wet coat over all those edges first, just in case I do run out. Just over all the sections where it meets up, like these. And if it's a little bit lighter through the gap, you're really not going to notice that colour difference. Yeah, I think we'll be alright with the colour, but just in case it feels like it's starting to get like a bit lighter down to there or something. There you go, that's what I was talking about. Run out. I'm going to have to go and get a little bit more because that's not even covered, man. I was running out. I've got a little bit more on the bench, but not much. So I will have to go and get it. Well, I'll see you guys in here when we're ready to put the power down. I won't bother about showing you guys the footage of me touching up this little bit here, but I'll just come in and just put a little bit over there. And it looks like I need a bit in there. I'll just make sure it's all covered. And I'll see you when I'm ready to put the power down. Rightio guys, back to it. So I just spoke to the boss. He literally just knocked on the door just then, and he said he called up the compressor guys, and on our compressor there's like a blank, like they've put in like an access hole to get inside to the big tank, and he called up the compressor guys and they said just go down to Clark Rubber, which is like the rubber warehouse around here. They said go down there and just get a bit of rubber and put it in yourself. So yeah, it sounds like a pretty easy fix, but yeah, he just said wait until you finish spraying this job here, and I'm gonna go give him a yell. But yeah, man, don't you really appreciate that air now that you have it? I tell you what, man, I just stood there for like 1 minute, man, with the air blower blowing off the ground coat, and bang, it was dry. Yeah, it was dry in no time. So I actually didn't even bake that ground coat, and it's one of those things that, like, it actually made me think back to detailers again. Like, if that was something in the detailing world that you did slightly different to the way that they do it, oh my god, man, they would roast you. But for whatever reason, like spray painters and people that are learning spray painting, apparently, it appears that way to me anyway, don't really care. They will say, hey, yeah, well, he did it differently. I might even give it a shot. You know what? That's not how I've ever done it, but it gets the job done. You know what I mean? And I think another part of it is we just don't care enough. Like, I personally don't give that much of a shit about the way that you prep a car. I really don't, man. It doesn't affect my life. Whereas these detailers, they seem to, as I say, not all, they just seem to have this, I don't know, chip on their shoulder, and, you know, I don't know. I like having a good rant, don't I? So yeah, oh no mate, you've got to bake that out, you know. Well, people don't care, man. Just get the thing done, like, get your job done. If it works for you, good on you, mate. Look at this. Oh man, I'm getting blown back into the wall with all that air pressure. Woohoo! Is this as boring as watching paint dry? It should be. But it's probably not, because Gunny's doing it, mate. Have a look at that paint and have a look at how it's drying. So interesting. I had this one guy leave a comment and he reckons that like there was something on the clear coat of one of the jobs that they were doing, and he just got a bit of a thinner's rag and he wiped it off. And he said that he reckons these detailers, man, he may as well have just killed their mum. They're like losing it. They're like losing the blood. Oh my God, you've just ruined the integrity of the clear coat. It'll never be the same. And it's like, man, oh man, it's funny. It's just funny. That's what it is. But yeah, look, on the other hand, man, like that guy, Auto Emporium, he reckons that like he never did an apprenticeship in spray painting, but he learnt from watching my videos. So yeah, as I say, like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all detailers are like that, but there seems to be a higher percentage of know-it-alls and people that just like it has to be their way or the highway. And at the end of the day, man, like these compounds, like everyone's got, like it's their compound or it's nothing. Like it has to be their way, you know. There's no, oh well, if it works for you. And I had a guy put it perfectly, man. And this is what he said, like there is no way, like a well-polished car, you would be able to tell which compound or wax was used on it. And I'm like, man, that is a perfect way of putting it. Like, yeah, my car, you see my car, like it looks always looks nice and polished and clean. There is no way, even if you knew like all of the different compounds on the market, there is no way that you will be able to say, oh, you buffed that with this compound, or you use this wax. You're just not gonna, it's like they're not that different. They really aren't that different. Like yeah, some cut quicker, some are cleaner, but at the end of the day, man, they all do the same bloody thing. You know? Like they just, the cutting compounds, they just cut into it. It's a fine abrasive, man. It's just like sandpaper in a certain way. Like it's crushed up bits of abrasive made into a compound, so that yeah, so that you can cut into the paint. That's pretty much all there is to it. Waxes are waxes, and ceramic coatings. Look, I don't know enough about ceramic coatings to be honest. Like I've used the Sonax one, I like it, but I honestly believe that the ceramic coatings are not as detailed and like they're not, what's the right way to put it? They're not as hard to understand as they would like you to believe. They don't want you to realize that there's probably not that much to it. You're just applying a very fine film of a protective coating that goes very hard. I see some people talking about graphene. I don't know enough about that either. But yeah, like there's lots of wild claims out there online. Everyone wants you to believe that their product is the best, or the product that they're sponsored to say is the best, you know. But yeah, what you actually want to do, like, and I need to do it soon, I need to crank that pressure back down. It's actually too much pressure out there. So I found 60 psi at the wall is generally where I want it. Because if you have it too high, then you're actually more susceptible to fluctuation. So you do actually want to restrict that air at the diaphragm valve. So that's what, that regulator on the wall there that you saw before, that's got a diaphragm in it. So when you get the pressure down, it's not going to go above it. But let's just say if you have full pressure, right, when the air's built up, well then you've got full pressure, you'll set your gun, but then it comes down a little bit, your gun will go down too, if that makes sense. Maybe I should do a dedicated video on that another day, but it probably made sense for the painters. And those of you who understand pressures.
But there we go. I'm going to give that a bit of a bake, probably give that 20-minute bake because it's coming up to morning tea. So I'll let it bake over my morning tea, then let it cool right down. And yeah, we'll come back in here and that's going to be ready to clear. I'll give it a half-hour bake, probably give it another 15 minutes to cool down, and then we'll be in here with the 2-pack clear, and I'll see you then.
Rightio guys, back to it. So yes, we got the compressor fixed. So as I mentioned before, it was actually a leak in the tank. And yeah, they actually fixed it relatively easy. All they did, they went down and got like inner tube off a tire, and yeah, they just cut it out and put it in there, and it's sealed up again. So that's good. So I just have to reset my regulator out there, which I was talking about earlier. Before it wouldn't even get up to 60. It was like 50 psi, and without touching it, bang, it was up to like 120. So I had to back it right down. Now as you see here, that's full pressure, and I'm just getting up to 2 bars. So I might actually have to turn it up a little bit again later, but it will be fine for this job. They actually reckon that you shouldn't have too much pressure in your coming up to your spray gun. Like they reckon that yeah, you're best off like having that set like yeah, down a little bit at the walls, like what I did. They reckon that like the velocity of the air actually makes a difference to how your gun sprays, because it can come in too fast and actually alter the way that your gun sprays. Can't say I'm an expert on that, but I mean there might be something to it. So I went down and got this little Milwaukee buff mini polisher at morning tea, and while I was waiting for him to fix the compressor, I went out and buffed up a couple of my jobs from yesterday, and yeah man, I love it. It's awesome. 350 Aussie dollars, and I didn't realize when I got it, it actually comes with 2 batteries. So I didn't realize it came with the 2 batteries, so I actually bought a spare battery, so now I've got 3. So I've got a 6 amp hour spare battery, and it comes with 2 amp hour batteries. I'm going to give that a few minutes, and I'm going to crank that pressure up a bit, because it is a bit low to be honest. Alright, so yeah, right to put that second coat on. So for whatever reason, like the pressure did actually drop below the 60 on the wall out there, so I did actually have to turn it up a little bit more, but it's all good. We got it sorted now, and it should stay there. It was probably still filling up. I don't know, because yeah, that wouldn't have made it go down. It would have gone the other way, but either way, we're able to get up to our 2 bar and a bit more. I have found that some guns use a bit more, so you want to have it a bit above what you need, just to give yourself a little bit of adjustment, you know. But as I say, they reckon that if you got too much air out there, then a turbulence sort of alters the way the air comes out of the gun. So I don't know, there's probably something to it, and it's no skin off my nose to have it set down a little bit. But you've also got the added advantage of you won't get your pressure fluctuations, and to be honest, that's the main reason I do it. But yeah man, back in the day, like I always used to just leave it flat out, but with the air screw compressor, you really are best off cranking it down a bit, I think. Woo! Mate, I've still got it. I might have had a week and a half off, but I haven't forgotten how to spray. Actually, That's orange peely as all hell, man. I need to wet that back up. It looks alright up the top, but through the guts here, man, that was really dry. Hey, it probably looks like a Mazda finish. How's that? Is that better? Oh, that's better. Come on, Gunny. Just go a light coat inside there, because it's sort of like this semi-gloss. Man, I'm so hungry. I only had 2 biscuits for morning tea. I usually eat 3. I'm ready to, I'm just about starting to shake, man. I'm really hungry. But it's all good, man. Morning, lunchtime's in 10 minutes. I got another guy waiting for this booth, so as long as I get this baking over lunch, will be all good. And then I've got another 3-lap barrel sitting out there waiting for me, and maybe a putty up or 2. But yeah, we covered a lot in this video. You guys can probably tell that I've got a little bit more energy than I did at the end of last year, you know what I mean? Like, got a bit more energy to talk. But I must admit, all this yelling, it's actually giving me a sore throat. Because I feel as if I have to yell over the air, because I've got my face inside my respirator. And to be honest, that's half of the reason sometimes I don't do videos, because I'm just not in the mood for yelling. And that's about it. We're nearly done. I think we'll go and get a little bit more from the inside. We'll see how we go. That's about it. Nice and wet, is it? Yep, nice and wet. We might not even need to jump underneath this time. I reckon that'll do us, man. Yep, looking good, looking good. Might just do these ones a bit from the inside. Killer, mate. Smashing them out early in the gear. Woo! Gunman edition, Pro Light. For that win, buddy. TE10 1.3. So we had full fan, 2 bar pressure, and full fluid. Pretty straight up. The usual settings from the Gunman. To be honest, that's part of the reason I stopped giving settings, because they haven't changed in all these years, you know. So that looks pretty nice, man. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll give that probably 5 minutes before I do hit bake, just to sort of let it flash off. So you don't want to go and hit it with the high temp too quickly. But yeah, I find they always come out nice and clean. I'll pull the GoPro out of its case. So yeah, here we go. Probably got a little bit better image quality now. I pulled that GoPro out of its little case here. For whatever reason, I find that you can see that filter. It's got like a very slightly, I don't know, like yellow filter to it. I don't know why they would do that. The only thing I could think is it's designed for more outside, and it's sort of like sunglasses in a way. They stop a bit of the glare, but there we go. Nice clean finish. Nice, yeah, what else can we say, man? Nice finish. That's all there is to it. I didn't use loads of material. I used pretty much every last drop of every piece of paint that I mixed up, and yeah, we're looking good, man.
gonna go have something to eat because I'm starving. Till next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out. Bye.